Hello, my name is Scott for SB Gaming and welcome back to Transport Fever Truck Fever Edition. This will be the final M-300 construction episode that we will be doing because, of course, we have one final route for the rest of the network, which is, of course, Tacoma to Garden Grove to Denton. Although with that said, it's actually extending the Wichita Falls to Garden Grove line up to Tacoma, and then just adding the spur line between Denton and Garden Grove. And then everything is complete, and then we can move on to other things, as this is the last week in the Truck Fever series that I have planned. I might run the series a little bit further on than I have intended so far, but we'll see how it goes. Anyway, we have Garden Grove here, Denton, and the Tacoma. We might as well start on the line up to Tacoma. So we have this line here, runs from up there, over there, down here, and into here. We have a spur running off of there, and so we have a little bit of a slope. We want slope, and so we come out here. What I'm probably going to do is dig down. We are going to come along this way, and yep, it's almost like I've planned it. Yeah, about that. Alright, what I'm going to do is put the signals on just so I have an idea of where I need to go into, although when you get down to ground level all the icons disappear. Alright, so from here up to that pair of signals there. This is relatively straight, so let's get to it. Now, we do not want catenaries because we're not going to be running any trains that would actually have catenaries, because it's all part of the series. Now, do we skim off the force it up, even though it pretty much has to? Or do we come wide and minimize damage to the train? We need to go into there, so yeah, this should be fine. And that locks in. Let's come a little wide. Okay, looks like, yep, the train is getting a little steep here, so we're going to bring it over and stay up on the surface as much as possible. We might have to tunnel just a bit. Alternatively, we can dig down. Would that make sense? I'm not thinking it would. Or we could reroute and go a little bit more along the side. You know, that's what I'm going to do. From out here, we're going to make sure it's forced up to about there. And then we have to come to about there, so we're going to stay up on the surface right about there. And where are we trying to reach to? 220-ish. Where are we currently right now? 203. Yep, we'll put it there. And then pretty much just that. We could drop it down just a bit. It doesn't really. Let's put that in. Alright, about that. So now what we want to do is just double track it. And there we go. So we got that set up. What we can do, I might as well do it right now. We are going to, let's see, Wichita Falls, Athens, Garden Grove. Come over here to Tacoma. And then back down here to Garden Grove. Oh, no. Bother. Garden Grove. Nope. Jeez. Tacoma. No. What's going on here? Tacoma. Alright, so we have Wichita Falls. Not sure what was happening there. Let's get rid of that. Wichita Falls, then we have Athens, we have Garden Grove, then we have Tacoma, Garden Grove, Athens. Alright, so we want to verify that this actually goes into Platform 1. That goes into Platform 2. And the Tacoma line will have to go into Platform 3 because it's the only platform it can. But we're going to lock it anyway. So that will get that connected up. And do I want to do signals right now? Let's just get time running. And what I'm just going to do, I'm going to put some initial signals. There, right there. We'll do one there and one up there. We'll let that run. How many trains is on that line though? Vehicles, we got 3 trains. We have a frequency of 5 minutes. It's making 23.7K. For now, yeah, we're going to just double track, or not double track. We're going to do the crossovers right now. Because I may be spending a little bit of time over connecting up Denton to Garden Grove. Alright, so that means that that is done. We will do some smoothing, but it won't be right now, although let's just get rid of that. Yeah. And let's continue on and do the to Denton. Raleigh Fuel. Placement. Vehicles. Some. Really? I'm still running Studebakers. Wait. So I added these 85 years ago. I added these 11 years ago and these 29 years ago. Well, given that we have a lot more stuff... Really? Raleigh? Why is there goods coming up this way and then back? Because really, this should only be refinery. Crude oil, maybe coming back up this way. Fuel and oil going back that way. Because the only thing that's coming this way would be crude oil. It would only be crude oil. Nothing would be coming, nothing's connecting onto this line here, over to here. There's no way any goods can get to here to be delivered over to here. So what is most likely happening is over where we have our transfer, there is a truck station which is not within range of another truck station, which is resulting in goods being dumped onto whichever line is the Raleigh Fuel line. That doesn't make any sense though, because if we take a look at, so we have Raleigh Fuel here, we have this transfer here, stuff that comes into here. Can it reach over here? Or maybe it's just out of range. No? I wish this line was a little bit more visible. Because it blends right into the platform itself. Why are goods getting put on this line to go up that way? We have crude oil. Crude oil. There's fuel there. That is hauling fuel. That is hauling fuel. Why do we have food and one tools here? Makes no sense. Like, this should only pick up any crude oil that comes in here. Because, yeah, about that. Unless that's from a while ago. I somehow had goods flaring up there. Oh, it could have been when I had way back when this over to here, back over to here. Goods that got orphaned, possibly. Alright about that. So we are just going to replace out that line. Spent way too much on this. We are going to just replace now. Yes, we'll just switch it to on. And leave it to do what it needs to do. Now, Denton to Garden Grove. So we have the spur right here. We need to cross over this road, and since there is a little bit of a downward slope, we're starting about 120. The road is at 108. Okay, that's the same contour line there. All right. So what I'm going to obviously want to do is keep this on the level. If we and we are going to be wanting to come across to there. Yeah, this is a relatively straight stretch. Let's just bring it down just a bit because we don't necessarily need the height. Okay, yes we do. About that. So we are going to bring this to about here. Actually, is that going to be good? Nope, apparently not. So we're just going to pull this back to about here. And we are going to force it on the flat. And there we go. Want that bridge. And we're going to pull it back to about there. And now it's just a matter of getting it over to the other side. Now, since we do not have any ships, and I don't think we ever will, we don't really have to worry about this being, although with that said, I think this is too low to the, or not. Okay, that was odd. Bother. Choose that bridge. We might as well keep it on the flat. Can we get... No, we can't, regardless. Is that flat or... Sure, we'll take that. Although we're going to have to swing this across. And we're on the wrong side. Alright, let's double track of this. And we're just going to double check this. And we do not want a bridge. We want an embankment. Yep, that works. It's going to be a 120. And then we are going to run the other section. So now the M-300 network is complete. We are just going to set up some crossovers and signals, and I'll do the crossovers first. Alright, so what we want to do, and I really should have done this in the previous episodes where I was setting them up. I kind of want to put it here. If I put a depot here, I could put a depot right there and then have it come in like that. That is a double slip. Yep. Oh no. Yes. Where do I want to put the trains on though? Yeah, we'll put them on right here. And we're going to force it to the flat. Although that... No, we're going to put it on the other side. Force it on the flat. And we want a depot. No catenaries. Alright, so come out on this side. This is double slipped. So if we buy them there, they'll come into here, they'll come into here. They'll either go on to Tacoma without stopping here, or they'll stop here and go on to Tacoma. That is fine. Do we want any trains to be able to add it to the line to go back that direction? And not really. Doesn't really matter. Alright, we are going to buy an M-300 for our final M-300 line. New line going from Garden Grove over to Denton. Now we want to color this. We have that color and that color. I want to put that color, I think. And in here we have two lines and they're not the same color. That's good. I switched around some of the colors on lines just so that there was never two lines with the same color coming into the same station. And this is Denton to Garden Grove. That starts off with a 7-minute frequency. We might as well set this up to replace automatically. Click OK. And yep, there we go. So we have the Denton to Garden Grove line. How are we doing otherwise for frequency? 69 seconds for this one. 725K. Nice. We have 54 people that want to go to Athens. And we got 43 people that wanted to go to Denton. If this keeps up, we could very well easily chain two M-300s on that line, although that would double the capacity. If we take a look at, we want just passengers, we want just rail, just rail. And so we are just going to let that run, and we just want to check the vehicles capacity. 65 of 65, 47 of 52, 65 of 65, 132 second frequency. That is Raleigh to Denton, and there is an autosave. Let's just check Raleigh to Denton. What kind of passenger numbers do we got here? 19. Raleigh to Denton. We're going to put the Not those, the train icons. And those are 2 Salinas to St. Paul trains. We have 1 leaving Denton. So we have 19 passengers there. We have Raleigh to Denton, 34 wanting to go to Raleigh. A few going back the other direction. We have 1 here. Raleigh Denton has no people here, although there is 25, 21, and 12. That train is going in that direction, and that train is going in that direction. This is going towards Denton. So what we are going to do, since there is 19, we are going to add a new train, M-300, on the Raleigh to Denton line. That will bring the Raleigh to Denton line down to 105 second frequency with 65 capacity. We are making, wow, Salinas to St. Paul, $2.28 million. Of course, we have 18 trains on the line, so if we were to do some math there, 1.14 million divided by 9 trains, that's about maybe 100K per train. So that's, yeah. Let's take a look at its profitability. 130, 150, 9K-ish. We got profitability of 126. We got profitability of 100K. Yeah, the M300, maybe it's not so profitable. 153, 124. With that said, would we double the profit if we doubled the number of trains? We'd increase the running costs, but we'd also potentially increase the income unless we are not running as many passengers as we normally would. So maybe we double the profit per train, although the profit per M300 would remain the same. It looks like at best we're looking at about 150K per year of income for the M300s. Depending, of course, on the line itself. These longer, lengthier lines, yeah, how about that? 8 trains making 832, that's about, yeah, 100K per train, 800K for 6 trains. We're going to let that one run. Wait for it to pick up passengers. The Raleigh to Denton's up to 57 of 65. We have 65, 65 on the St. Paul to Thornton line. So what we want to do is just check Thornton. We have 21 that want to go to St. Paul. We have another train over there. We have 18 and 7. We have one going that way, one going in that way. And we have 46 here. You know what? We could probably support another. Let's buy one from here. St. Paul Thornton. And how much does that take us down to? 82 second frequency. 6 trains. Do I want to add another one? No, we'll leave it for now. We have our Salinas to Raleigh line, 41 of 52 passengers. It is making us 460K per year. If we take a look at the passenger numbers here, we have only 2 that want to go to Raleigh, 41 for St. Paul, and 37 for South Bend. Over here we got 30 and 37, so you know what? We are going to put another M300 on the actually. You just picked up, and you are Salinas to South Bend, which means we have 31 additional passengers there. There's a Salinas to South Bend train. There's one going that way, one going that way. Salinas to South Bend. That's right, we were checking the... But it's making a profit. It's doing decently. So we're going to set this to the Salinas to South Bend line. We're also going to buy another for the Thornton to South Bend line. Because we can always use an additional train on each of the lines. If we take a look at the Thornton to South Bend line, we're down to 114-second frequency with 9 trains on. We have Tampa to Raleigh is maxed out 65 of 65, 114-second frequency. Let's take a look at the Tampa to Raleigh line. And over here in Tampa, we have 13 on that train. Although that is, actually no, that's just coming into Tampa. We have 33 people here. How many trains do we have on that line? Tampa to Raleigh, we got 5 trains. There's another one right there going towards Wichita Falls, and another one coming into Wichita Falls. 32 and 20, so we could definitely have another one picking up in this direction. That one's going up that way. And this is a... Alright, we have Tampa to Raleigh, 19 people. So that one's going to pick up 13. So what we are going to do is we are going to add another M-300 to the Tampa to Raleigh line. So that brings the Tampa Raleigh line up to a 95-second frequency, 78 capacity, and 114 there. Wichita to Garden Grove is a 5-minute frequency. We only have 3 trains on the line. So let's check here. We have 10 people wanting to go in that direction. That train is going that direction. We have... This one is waiting for a free path because that one is going. Yeah, indeed. And we can't really exactly segregate this traffic because it has to cross over anyway. Although with that said, we could bring this across. Although I think I've tried bringing this around over and then this, so it just crosses one place rather than... Okay, about that. And where is the other one? And the other one is heading up to Tacoma. The other one is full. And over here in Tacoma, we have 34 people. Nice. Well, we are going to buy another M-300 over here, Wichita to Garden Grove. Although with that said, this is now Wichita to Tacoma. Oh no. Oh bother. Is there any way to... Yeah, that's either not going to find a proper path. Am I able to... I doubt it. Oh? Hey. Alright, please tell me that you are going to be able to go onto that line. Can you go on that line? Can you go on that line? And yes, you can. Awesome. Alright, about that. Well, that was rather fortunate. So we have... yeah, so 16 want to go up to Tacoma. 62! Oi! He likes. So... I'm going to want to... Yeah. We are going to... And, yep, that's fine. Depot. Buy trains. We are going to go with the M-300. Let's put 2 on the line, because we do have a lot of people. We have enough for almost 5 trains just sitting here wanting to go to Athens. We do want to crank up the frequency of the line, so that is a thing. And so we have 24 Athens to Gainesville. Where is the next one's there? We'll leave it for now. And we got 48 Athens to Gainesville. And that is Thornton to South Bend. We have 1 there. This is an Athens to Gainesville train. Okay, Athens to Gainesville. You know what? Let's throw another M-300 on the line. And Athens to Gainesville. Now, other than that, how are we doing here? 62 wanting to go to Buffalo. Well, in that case, let's throw another M-300 on the line. And Salinas to St. Paul. My guess is it will head in the direction of Buffalo. We have 75-second frequency on the Salinas to St. Paul line. That said, the most frequent service is the Athens to Gainesville line. And yep, that comes into here. Yep, there's enough for 5 trains worth. We have 1 here, 1 picked up. There we go. Now you can head out. The next one will be coming there. Yep, overall things are doing quite well. We have $2.22 billion in the bank account, and our income dropped, although with that said, probably didn't drop. No, our income stayed the same. Our running cost increased slightly. No, it was the construction cost compared to the previous year was less, which includes all of that. New vehicles, so we spent $28.7 million on new vehicles versus $3.02 million on new vehicles the year previous. So we are making quite a decent amount. Sold vehicles, we had $2.24 million in sold vehicles. That must have been the Raleigh Fuel line. We have tram income of $6.38 million versus $8.89 million in running costs. So we're still losing 25% on that. Rail running costs is $9.33 million to $15.2 million in income. So actually that's doing pretty good. We are almost reaching a 2-to-1. And road income is about $95 million. So yeah, we're 95 million. Yeah, we're well over a 2-to-1 ratio there, but the M300s might be looking to score some decent profit potential there. And other than that, our income 195 versus 98 million in running costs. We're making a profit of 97 million. Property maintenance is like nothing, 604K. Yeah, like property maintenance in the early game could be an issue, but later on in the game, since this doesn't multiply relative to the number of vehicles that you have, it becomes relatively insignificant. So yeah, about that. Our Denton and Garden Grove line, which is only 4 months old, is losing us a little bit of money, which is to be expected since we haven't actually ran any passengers. Let's check the train. It is heading towards Garden Grove. We do not have anyone. Actually, we now have 10 people wanting to go to Garden Grove. I'd be tempted to... Oh no, never mind. It has one person. And over here we have 29 people wanting to go to Denton to Garden Grove. So what I'm going to do, we are going to throw another one on this line. M-300 and Denton to Garden Grove. We are going to run that Denton Garden Grove is a 3-minute frequency. Let's add another M300. Set line, Denton to Garden Grove. And you are going to Denton. How are these trams doing? Absolutely nothing. Wow. How are trams doing overall? Disappointingly. We have 51 people for Athens to Denton. By road vehicle, rate streetcar, Athens to Denton. Please tell me you are going to Denton. Yes, you are. Good. They really need to change the logic whereby the buses decide where to go. The trucks as well. I would like it so that all vehicles go to their nearest stop, except maybe local bus routes, which can spread out as desired. RT2 line, how is it doing for fun? Oh, it's doing profitably. Of course, we have only 2 vehicles on the line. You know what we might just do if we have a depot, which we should. Let's buy trams, although I want to check. Oh wow, yeah, we could definitely use 2 more on the RT1 line and 2 on the RT2 line. Let's buy a 3rd for the RT3 line. Let's buy a 4th for the RT3 line, or a 5th one. That cuts the frequency in about half. It'll, of course, reduce the potential profitability. Of course, if the frequency helps to improve passenger travel, and right there's 14 people. And I am using the earlier version of the tram that we have available, just because we do not need the 25 or 26 capacity of the more recent tram. 24 people. Don't really like this stop here. Of course, with that said, Tampa to Denton. What if I were to move this stop to, say, over here? Just so any buses that are stopping here aren't blocking our Athens to Denton. We got 4 lines running into here, so that could also create some issues. But it seems to be flowing fine right now. And so if we take a look at our lines, Denton to Garden Grove is losing 90K, but it's only 7 months old. We are carrying 28 of 39 passengers, Athens to Gainesville, 58 frequency, with 6 trains running a 703 profit, 78 passenger capacity. St. Paul to Thornton, same thing, 84 second frequency, and 546K. Our Thornton to South Bend line is running $1.05 million in profit, which is nice. Everything is mostly making profit. That's really all that matters. Not that we actually need the money for anything. So with that in mind, I think that is going to wrap things up for this episode. We got the entire M-300 network complete. Next up, what I would like to do, and I might just talk a little bit about this right now, is a little bit of a plane route. I did bring back the older airports. And so, for instance, I might throw, actually, this could be a very good spot other than that road. The airport could be very close to the tram depot. And having it in this way would mean that planes could fly, they would take off going that way. So they could land going that way. I'd want them to come from Thornton, maybe? I was thinking of having a airport here. I don't think from St. Paul, just because that would compete with the Thornton, or not the Thornton, the St. Paul to Salinas train run. Maybe Thornton, if we put an airport, say right here, which connects right onto that tram depot, so that would be an ideal spot, although the elevation is having a little bit of an issue. We could put the airport, say, right here, although then we have issues with planes potentially flying through the mountain. If we put the airport over here, then I'd have to run. Now, this almost seems like the best spot for an airport. Other than the fact that, yeah, actually, over here is probably the better spot for an airport. Yeah, about that. But to run, what I do not want is for the planes to fly through that mountain on their way over to Salinas, because bad things could happen. And then maybe run a South Bend airport. Although that said, South Bend is mountainous. Maybe up here. Maybe what I could do is raise up the ground. I could tunnel this underneath the airport. That is a possibility. So I have the airport like right here, raised up. Let's just put on the contour lines. I don't really want that because, yeah, planes would fly through the mountain. Maybe I can level the mountain a bit here, throw it up on to here. No, that would be a floating airport. There's not too many places to put one that would be realistic enough. I could put it right over here, maybe. I'd have to... But if I were to do a South Bend flight, I'd want to probably go to Tacoma. Because odds are, if I were to put an airport over here, let's say over here, planes come in that way. It could be hit or miss whether or not they hit the mountain. Quite literally. That is a possibility there. It can actually fit there. So that is something. Something to consider. We could also run an airport here. Maybe. Possibly. And then run basically Salinas to Tacoma and South Bend to Tacoma. But that will have to come in another episode. At this point in time, what I'm going to do is take a break here, and we will figure out what we want to do for planes. There'll be low capacity planes in the next episode. This series has become a bit of an anachronism, which is things existing well past their time, and I kind of like it. We're on a medium map, and it's relatively small, so yeah, about that. We're not exactly running high-speed trains, but yeah. Anyway, at this point in time, I'd like to say thank you for joining me for this episode of Transport Fever, Truck Fever Edition. The final M300 line got set up. Thank you for watching. My name is Scott for SB Gaming. As always, have a good day.